Something about Amy made me curious. It was a sunny afternoon when I first saw her. The moving truck parked next door as I sat on our front porch, nibbling on an apple. A girl about my age, maybe a little bit older, stepped out of the truck, her long, dark hair shining in the sunlight. She wore a plain black hoodie and blue jeans. She looked around nervously. Mom came out and noticed me staring. "Go say hi to them. It's good to welcome new neighbors." I wasn't sure. Something about the girl seemed different. But Mom's face said I didn't have much choice. So I walked over, trying to look friendly. "Hi, I'm Pam," I said, stopping near the driveway. "Do you need any help with the boxes?" The girl hesitated before answering. "I'm Amy," she said quietly. Her voice was soft, almost like she didn't want to be heard. "We're okay, thanks." "Cool," I said, shifting on my feet. "So you just moved in?" Amy nodded, her eyes scanning the street like she was expecting something, or someone, to appear. "Where did you move from?" I asked, trying to keep the conversation going. "Oh, a small town up north," she replied vaguely. I wanted to ask more, but Amy's mom called her inside. She gave me a little smile before going into her new house. As I walked back home, I couldn't shake the feeling that Amy was hiding something. The next day, I saw Amy sitting on her front steps, sketching in a notebook. Gathering my courage, I grabbed 2 popsicles from the freezer and walked over. "Hey," I said, holding one out to her. "Want one?" She looked up, surprised, then smiled. "Thanks." She took the popsicle and scooted over to make room. "What are you drawing?" I asked, peeking at her notebook. Amy quickly closed it. "Just stuff," she said. Her cheeks turned pink. "Okay," I said, deciding not to push. "So, do you want to hang out? I could show you around the neighborhood." Amy hesitated, then nodded. "Sure." As we walked, I pointed out the park, the library, and the best spot to get hamburgers. Amy listened quietly, asking a few questions here and there. She seemed nice, but she was definitely shy. Still, I liked her. Over the next few weeks, Amy and I became friends. She didn't talk much about her past, but we had fun exploring the woods behind our houses. One day, while we were climbing trees, I noticed something strange. Amy had a large scar on her arm, shaped like a crescent moon. "What happened there?" I asked without thinking. Amy quickly pulled her sleeve down. "Nothing, just an old accident," she said, looking away. I wanted to ask more, but her facial expression told me to stop. One evening, I heard voices outside my window. Peeking out, I saw Amy in her backyard, talking to a man I had never seen before. He was tall and wore a dark coat, even though it was warm out. Their conversation looked serious, and Amy kept looking around nervously. I asked her about it the next day. "Who was that guy you were talking to last night?" Amy's face went pale. "You saw him?" she whispered. "Yeah, was he your dad or something?" She shook her head quickly. No, he's just someone my mom knows. Her answer didn't sit right with me, but I didn't want to push her. Still, I couldn't help but wonder what was going on. Things got stranger after that. Amy started acting jumpy, like she was always looking over her shoulder. She suddenly grabbed my arm and pulled me into an alley one afternoon while we were walking home from the park. "What are you doing?" I asked, startled. "I thought I saw someone," she said, peeking around the corner. "Who?" She didn't answer. Instead, she let go of my arm and gave me an awkward smile. "Sorry. Guess I'm just scared." A week later, the mystery deepened. I found Amy's sketchbook lying on the ground in the woods behind my house. Curiosity got the better of me, and I opened it. Most of the pages were filled with drawings of trees, animals, and other ordinary things. But one page made me freeze. It was a sketch of the man I'd seen her talking to, the one in the dark coat. Under his picture, Amy had written one word: danger. What was Amy caught up in? I decided to ask her. "Amy, I found your sketchbook. Who is that man? Why did you write danger?" Amy's eyes widened, and for a moment I thought she might run. But then she said, "Okay." "You deserve to know," she said quietly. "But you have to promise not to tell anyone." I nodded, my stomach twisting in knots. Amy took a deep breath. "That man is not a good person. My mom and I moved here to get away from him. He's been following us for months." "Why?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. Amy hesitated. "Because he thinks we know something. Something important. But we don't. At least, I don't." "Does your mom?" "Maybe," Amy admitted. "But she won't tell me anything. She just says we have to stay safe." My head spun. This was like something out of a movie. I kept a closer eye on Amy after that. We still hung out, but I couldn't shake the feeling that danger was always nearby. One evening, as we were watching the sunset from her porch, a car slowed down in front of her house. Amy tensed up, her hand gripping mine tightly. "Is that him?" I asked. She nodded, her eyes fixed on the car. It stopped for a moment, then sped away. "What should we do?" I was frightened. Amy shook her head. "Nothing. Just act normal. He'll leave eventually." But I wasn't so sure. As I walked home that night, I made a decision. If that man came back, I'd tell my parents. Amy and her mom needed help, and I wasn't going to let anything happen to my friend. Amy didn't come outside the next day. Her house was quiet, and her mom's car was gone. I waited, worried. But by evening, there was still no one at their house. Just as I was about to go knock on their door, Mom called me inside. "Pam, I need to tell you something," she said. "The neighbors moved out this afternoon. They left in a hurry." I froze. "What? Why?" Mom shook her head. "I don't know, but they're gone." I felt a pang of sadness. Wherever Amy and her mom were, I hoped they'd be okay. And though I never saw Amy again, a letter came in the mail for me. Inside the envelope was a beautiful pencil sketch of me. There was no return address. I placed the sketch in a wooden frame and hung it on my bedroom wall, as a reminder of my brave, mysterious friend who taught me what it meant to stand by someone, even when the truth was scary.
Question 1. Where did Amy and her mother move from? A. Small town down south. B. A town up north. C. From another country. Two. What did Pam think of Amy when they met? A. She was talkative and loud. B. She was a bully. C. She was shy and secretive. Three. What did Pam see on Amy's arm? A scar. B. A tattoo. C. An insect. 4. Why did the strange man follow Amy and her mother? A. He thinks they know something important. B. They owed him a lot of money. C. He wanted to take Amy away from her mother. Five. What word did Amy write under the sketch of the man in her notebook? A mystery. B. Danger. C. Dad. 6. How did Amy respond when Pam offered help with the boxes? A. She said they were okay. Quietly. B. She said yes excitedly. C. She ignored Pam and went into the house. 7. What was Amy wearing when she first appeared? A. Floral dress and sandals. B. A red jacket and black jeans. C. A plain black hoodie and blue jeans. 8. What emotion did Amy often show during their early interactions? A. Nervousness. B. Excitement. C. Anger. 9. Why did Amy and her mom move to the neighborhood? According to Amy, A. To start fresh in a better school district. B. To get away from the man who was following them. C. To be closer to relatives. 10. What did Pam receive after Amy and her mom suddenly moved away? A. Letter explaining everything. B. A pencil sketch of herself. C. Amy's sketchbook.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.